Leasing is an important topic in financial accounting, and also there are a lot of gray area for leasing accounting. So why we classify the leasing as a liability in Chapter 7 here? Because let's think about the leasing. Personally, we want to move into a house. Okay, so you can actually buy a house. So but you do not have enough money. How to buy that house, right? So you can make a down payment, lower down payment, and apply for mortgage. So you can now you can move into the house by paying the mortgage every month, right? What's mortgage? Mortgage is liability, right? The other is you can lease a house or rent a house. Different is you do not pay mortgage. What do you pay? You pay rent. Okay, actually, both will leverage your capabilities, right? So for company, they're same. Both debt and leasing leverages the company's operation. So they are same. This is the same for the leasing and liabilities. And also, there are a lot of benefits for leasing, which is very similar to the debt financing. We know when company borrow money, the company is going to pay interest, and the interest expense is tax deductible, right? So which will reduce the taxable income and reduce the tax liabilities. And the lease is the same. Okay, a lot of leasing is for fixed assets, for example, land, buildings, and equipment, and machines, right? Except land, all these fixed assets are subject to depreciation. And we know depreciation is also tax deductible, right? So actually, leasing is a kind of vehicle. It can shift the tax benefit from one company to the other company. Okay, for example, two companies. One is Airbus, okay, which make aircrafts. The other is Southwest, okay, airlines. If Airbus, for example, the profitability, the income tax bracket is 35, and Southwest is 2%. Okay, because Southwest is not as profitable as Airbus. So there is $100 depreciation, just for example. Okay, this $100 depreciation expense for Airbus, and it means differently for Airbus or Southwest. So for Airbus, $100 depreciation means $35 tax saved, right? But for Southwest, there's only $2 tax saved. So that's the different things. So actually Southwest and the Airbus, they can have a leased contract. So they can shift, Southwest can shift its tax benefit to Airbus to save tax. And also the two parties can negotiate how to share the benefits. Right? The next one is the flexibility to change capacities. Okay. Like when you own an asset, it needs a large amount of capital and cash flows. But to lease assets, it is simple, right? So usually the contract is limited. Like we'll lease a machine, for example, 3 months. If you do not want to use that machine after 3 months, you can end the lease. Right? You can lease other machines. But when you own the machine, it takes a longer time to dispose of the assets. So it is quite flexible for leasing. Right? The next is reduce the risk of technological obsolescence. Yeah, we know right now the technology change very rapidly. So especially for IT industry, right, the change of the technology is so fast. Every month, new chips will be developed, and new technology will be applied. So if you lease an asset, actually you can reduce such risk. And also, it is a kind of finance, okay, to acquire an asset. So the lease actually provides an alternative financing for the company if other financing are not available. Right? For example, if you cannot successfully apply a mortgage because your income is not high or your credit score is not very good, right? So your mortgage cannot be approved. So you can lease a house, right? So that's the benefits of leasing. And just take a look at this schedule for lease amortization. It is quite similar to the schedule of liability amortization table, right? So the payment of lease is a kind of the interest, cash interest. This is the interest expense, amortization, and book value of the liabilities.